Warhammer 40,000 was cooler when you could make your own kill team. I don't play the modern version of Kill Team. I play quite a bit of 4th edition Kill Team. Not only is it my favorite skirmish game, it's one of my favorite game modes ever. It's great fun. Um, but I don't play the modern Kill Team, but I pay a lot of attention to what goes on around there because I think that a lot of the individual Kill Team boxes that Games Workshop puts out are just some of the best models that I get to see. I'm very invested in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. I love the aesthetic. I love the story, and it keeps me so engaged, and I keep coming back. And I think Kill Team is a great place where all the personality of 40K shines. And this newest release coming out is no different. I'm super into the new Vespid. Those look great. And I already have 10 Vespid in my army. I don't need new Vespid, but those are some beautiful models. And then the new Scions, the Jump Scions, those are pretty hot too. And I'm always in to the new models. But that's as much attention as I was going to give the new Kill Team until just the other day I just had my YouTube playing and Tabletop Minions was on and Adam Smasher was talking about it. And he caught something that I couldn't just let go by and that I had to talk about for a second. And I'm going to read you for a minute. The first thing that I have to point out is the almost every Kill Team released in the box set, from the Vanguard Veterans of Kill Team Octarius right to the Harkin Jaegers of Kill Team Termination, will have fully updated rules for the new edition and a pack of physical data cards to keep them close at hand. The key word there is the first one, almost every Kill Team. But then we have the two asterisks on the page. This does mean that Kill Teams from the Kill Team Compendium book will not have updated rules. Now, that's weak. That's super weak. I may have been more interested in Kill Team, the modern Kill Team, if it was set up like 4th edition Kill Team, where I got to build my own Kill Team and invest my imagination into creating something unique to me, because that is what I usually enjoy most in this hobby. But they weren't doing that the whole time, but at least you had the chance to take models from your own collection and turn them into your Kill Team. But it seems like they're moving away from that, and you're going to buy their bespoke Kill Teams, and they're going to sell you new bespoke Kill Teams, and you're going to buy those, or you're not going to get to play the new incarnation of Kill Team. And that not only is that lame and uncool, that is so not what 40K is to me. And what 40K is to me is the game that was sold to me was not just the plastic Spacemans and the rules set. The game that was sold to me was a playground for my imagination, and Games Workshop invited me to be a creator alongside with them. They gave me the sandbox, they gave me the tools, and I got to build things for myself, what I thought was cool, what my creativity wanted to get out. My best example is I have Space Marines where I went out and I bought an assault squad box, or maybe it was a attack marine box, but it was a box of 10 Marines. And I bought it just because I had so many bits left over from so many different kits that I just wanted to build some Space Marines for fun and make them cool. And I did that, and at the time I did that, this is a long time ago now, it didn't even occur to me that I wouldn't be able to find appropriate rules to field them with, because there were always rules to play with. They would be Vanguard veterans or Sternguard veterans or what have you, but I would be able to find builds and rules that I could play with, and the playground of my imagination was fulfilled. Now, I could complain about it till I'm blue in the face, because I'm passionate about it, because I feel like something was taken from me. There's this, it's a game, it is just a game, but I'm so invested in it. And I've spent so much time with it, not just buying models, building models, painting models, but I work as a fry cook. And you have no idea how many hours of my life I've spent doing the work of my job while I think about Warhammer 40,000. What am I going to build? What am I going to paint? What am I going to do on the tabletop? What fiction stories am I making up in my head to pass the time? And I've been doing it for over a dozen years now. Warhammer is a huge part of my life. And the last couple editions of the game, have driven me crazy as Games Workshop keeps taking the things I love away from me and just offering me up, well, this is what you got now. You want to play? You want to be involved? You want to be part of the community? Buy our models the way we tell you to, or get out. And that's how I feel like I'm being spoken to. And instead of just going off and complaining, there are some things I want to read to you to just maybe help you know how I feel. This is the 4th edition rule book, and this is prime 40K for me. I didn't get to play this edition. I got this set of rules, but I didn't have my army yet. And so by the time I actually got to the tabletop, we were into 5th edition. But this book is wild, and it is a ton of fun. And it is a completely different vibe than what you get from Games Workshop. This has the touch of people who loved it, the touch of people who love the hobby, the touch of people who love the mythology, and you can tell by the way they wrote, and you can tell by what they offered up. And there are some things in the kill team rules about how you make your kill team that I want to read to you. I want to start with a paragraph that is in the introduction. And the paragraph reads, players should make every effort to personalize their kill team, converting them to carry trophies or special gear and keeping track of who kills the most bad guys. A Stetson or cigar or squig or iron gob here and there can really get across the feeling of a gang of desperate but hardcore soldiers. We'll see some examples of kill teams converted in this way in the next few pages. You might even want to give them names, especially your kill team leader, who will generally be kicking the most alien tail. You can complete missions without Sarge, but it's an awful lot trickier. And that's right in the introduction. Games Workshop is encouraging you to change your models, to make them different, to make them yours. Now, I really want to read to you the rules for building your kill team in 4th edition kill team, but it's 2 pages and it's a mouthful. So instead of reading this to you, I'm going to cut a piece out of my Learn How to Play 4th edition kill team video, and I'm going to plug that in right here.
Playing kill team. You may choose any number of operatives within the points allowed, upgrades, war gear, and options from the appropriate entry in that race's codex, just as if you were choosing a squad for a normal game of Warhammer 40,000. Up to a value of 160 points. Any and all special rules that affect a kill team are in effect, but if a rule proves to be too powerful or restrictive, you might want to leave it out. For instance, a unit deep striking right next to the objective would make for a very short game. You should discuss with your opponent whether any special rules your kill team may employ would add to the fun or detract from it. See the golden rule. There are several guidelines to bear in mind when choosing your kill team. These are divided into immutable laws, rules that cannot be changed without endangering the fairness and spirit of the game, and mutable laws, those which you can play around with or ignore altogether at a price. Some kill teams will consist of models from more than one unit type. For instance, a Space Marine unit with a couple of Scouts models in its number. When putting together a kill team in this manner, ignore all minimum unit size restrictions and treat all models purchased from your points allowance as if they were a single unit at all time, so they must retain coherency. As stated above, each kill team has 160 points to spend taken from the relevant codex and subject to the following restrictions. Immutable laws of kill team. These rules may not be ignored and must be abided by when constructing your kill team. The only exception is if your opponent gives his express permission for you to break one of these rules and you are playing a one-off game rather than a series of games linked together. If this is the case, your opponent gets 2 extra brute squads per rule broken and an extra 25 points to spend on his boss brute. More on these chaps later. The immutable laws are 1. Kill teams must be chosen from one codex army list or its derivatives. They must all be from the same race. For instance, your kill team could consist of Eldar Rangers and Altiok Pathfinders, but not Eldar Rangers and Space Marine Scouts. 2. Kill teams must consist entirely of one-wound, non-vehicle models. Multi-wound models, such as Tau Crisis battlesuits, are just too big and noisy for covert operations, and HQ units and characters are too valuable to risk on do-or-die missions. 3. Models may not have a 2-up save of any kind. 4. Kill teams may have one weapon with either the heavy or template characteristic, but no more. 5. Kill teams may not have psychic powers. Such rare and talented individuals are too valuable to their commanders to risk on near-suicidal missions. 6. No model may spend more than 40 points in total on weaponry, war gear, or special skills, such as Eldar Exarch powers. 7. Kill teams may choose only weapon upgrades in the unit entry they are chosen from. 8. Bikes and jet bikes of any kind may not be chosen, nor may anti-grav weapons platforms. Mutable laws of kill team. These rules may be broken when constructing your kill team. However, every time you break a mutable law, your opponent gets an extra brute squad and a bonus 10 points to spend on his boss brute. Number 1. Kill teams must be chosen from the same unit entry in the relevant codex. 2. Kill teams, or their composite parts, must obey all the normal restrictions for that unit type, barring the minimum unit size restriction. For instance, in a Grey Knight kill team, one model must be upgraded to a Justicar, as usual for a Grey Knight unit. 3. Kill teams must number between 5 and 12 models. 4. No more than one model per kill team may have the option of choosing war gear. 5. No kill team weapon may have a strength greater than 7 or be capable of firing more than 2 shots per turn. Such heavy-duty kit is usually reserved for full-scale war.
Now, as you can see from the 4th edition build rules, the tone and the vibe and the goals, everything was just incredibly different back then. And I got to tell you, I preferred it. Before we get out of the 4th edition book, though, I do want to show you their kill teams. We're going to skip past Colonel Schaefer's Last Chancers. They were like the bespoke kill team of the day. They came in their own box. And I don't think that you could sell them to the modern audience. I think that the picture that I'm looking at is kind of problematic. We're just going to skip them. But we're going to show off this orc kill team sneaking up on these guardsmen. Some minor conversions there. Look like a bunch of shooter boys. We have the Space Wolf kill team. Everybody's looking like a cool Space Wolf. But check this Eldar team out. With the green stuff work to customize it to make it more your own. And then you want to go way back in the past. This is a Heretics and Mutants kill team. And they're pretty wild to look at. And then we have a Space Marine kill team. And then here's some more green stuff work for this Imperial Guard kill team. This one might be... No, I can't say this one's my favorite in the book because... Where is it? This one here, the Kroot one. The Kroot one is my favorite in the book. I love that paint scheme. Those guys are awesome looking. And then we have these super old Necrons here as well. So as you can see, the older editions were very different. And in my opinion, better. I loved the old game. I loved it. And I loved having a reason to free my mind in the sandbox of 40K and build the things I wanted to build. And I don't get to play that way anymore. I mean, I could if I want to go to 30K, but I don't want to go to 30K. I don't want to play Space Marines versus Space Marines. And I sure don't want to buy another $3,000 army that I don't own already. I would love to go back to these older editions. It's so hard now because I have such a limited chances to play. And when we do get to play, we're both such busy people that we just want to knock out a game real quick. And the best way to do that is 10th edition because we don't have to go back to the old rule books and relearn rule sets. And, it'd be different if we were doing it all the time, but we're not. And so we don't. But what I see Games Workshop doing now, all I see is the needs of the money man being taken care of. And I understand that's apparently good business. That's how good businessmen do good business and make that money. But I would like to live in a different world where a good business earns your business by being the best business and doing what was best for the consumer, best for the company, and not just best for the shareholders, which is what I see here. Games Workshop can't compete with 3D printing. Games Workshop can't compete with third-party manufacturing unless they take all the options away from you, so you would now have no reason to go to 3D printing or third-party manufacturing. There's no option in the kit that is not in the rules and vice versa. There's no reason to try to be creative. You just play what they tell you to play, and then in a couple of years you're going to send it to Legends, and you're going to buy something new and you're going to play that. And I don't like it. I hate it. It's uncool.